All right, so you're ready to dive in. Today, we're taking a closer look at Shivalik Bimetal Controls Ltd.
Yeah.
They're this Indian manufacturer making some pretty specialized electronic and electromechanical components.
Right, right.
And we're talking about their latest earnings call, the investor presentation, all the juicy financials.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a big meeting with them coming up, maybe you're thinking about, investing, then you are in the right place. We're going to break it all down.
Yeah, and what's super interesting about Shivalik, right, is they're kind of positioned in these booming industries.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking EVs, renewable energy, all this smart tech.
All the buzzwords.
All the stuff everyone's talking about. And this company, they're right in the middle of it.
So they're definitely in the right place at the right time, but how are they actually doing?
Yeah.
Give us the performance snapshot.
Okay.
How'd they do in Q3 in the first 9 months of FY25?
Well, I'd say they're definitely showing some resilience.
Yeah.
Global economy, it's not exactly a party out there, but
Right.
Shivalik's holding their own.
Okay.
So revenue dipped a little year on year.
Okay.
But here's the thing, profitability, that actually went up.
Interesting.
So we're looking at profit before tax margin up 159 basis points to 19.80%.
Wow.
And profit after tax margin up 142 basis points to 14.86%.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying revenue's down, but profits are up.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
So it's a couple of things.
All right.
First off, they're really shifting towards higher value components.
Okay.
These aren't just like any old parts.
Right.
We're talking specialized, high-tech, in demand.
Right, right.
And second, cost control.
Okay.
They're super focused on that, both like raw materials and operational efficiency.
Okay, so streamlining things.
Yeah.
So let's break it down even further.
Sure.
Shivalik, they've got two main segments, right?
That's right.
Thermostatic bimetals, trimetals,
Yep.
and then shut resistors.
Right.
So walk me through those. How did each of those perform?
Okay, so the thermostatic bimetals, trimetals segment, that includes things like safety cutoffs for appliances.
Okay.
That did all right in the Americas.
Okay.
But overall, yeah, probably took a hit from that global slowdown we were talking about.
Sure.
The shunt resistor segment, though, that's a different story.
Okay, shunt resistors. I'll be honest, I didn't know much about those before this whole deep dive.
Really?
Fill me in.
Okay, so basically they're vital for managing electrical current.
Okay.
Especially important in like battery management systems, for electric vehicles.
Okay.
Imagine you're building the brain of an EV.
Okay.
Shunt resistors, they're like the traffic cops.
Okay.
Making sure all that energy's floating right, nice and safely.
So they're essential.
Yeah, and Shivalik's making some of the best in the business.
Okay, so they're riding that EV wave.
Yeah.
But they're not just supplying these resistors.
No.
The earnings call kept mentioning this forward integration.
Right.
What's the deal with that?
Yeah.
Are they moving beyond just supplying parts?
I think it's more than just look, they're taking like a $2 part and turning it into a $20 assembly.
Wow.
That's real. They're not just supplying parts anymore. They're becoming the go-to for entire systems.
So they're becoming more essential to the process.
Exactly.
So if I'm going into this meeting with Shivalik,
yeah.
should I be asking them, hey, are you going to be competing with, my other suppliers soon?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one that the analysts on the call were definitely curious about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so let's dig into some of those key concerns that came up in the Q&A.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right.
All right, so lay it on me. What were the analysts really digging into?
Tariffs.
Yeah.
Big concern, right?
Huge.
Trade wars, everyone's kind of nervous, but Shivalik, they basically said, look, for now, we're good. Our products aren't, directly impacted, but we're definitely keeping an eye on things.
Smart. So tariffs, what else were they worried about?
Competition.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, with this whole forward integration thing, are they going to step on their customers' toes?
Yeah, are they gonna become the competition?
Exactly. But Shivalik was pretty clear. They said, no, we're filling a gap.
Okay.
Our customers, they ask for this. It's about, working together, not competing.
So more like collaboration.
Yeah, collaboration, not cannibalization.
I see.
So what else? What else came up?
Working capital.
Okay.
Analysts were, poking around about those long lead times for raw materials.
Right, makes sense.
But Shivalik's like, hey, we're on it.
Okay, they're doing this whole backward immigration thing.
Okay, explain that.
So instead of just waiting around for suppliers,
Yeah.
they're bringing more of that supply chain in-house.
Wow, so they're taking control.
Yeah, it's bold. It reminds me of when Tesla started making her own batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Risky, but potentially game-changing.
For sure. Okay, what else?
Geographic profile.
Okay.
Got some attention. So India, it's a strong market for them.
Yeah.
It can be a little, up and down.
Volatile, yeah.
Volatile, yeah. And Shivalik knows that, so they're being strategic,
Okay.
balancing their exposure across different regions.
Smart. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Speaking of India, those smart meters, they're going big on those.
Right.
What did Shivalik say about, their market share in that space?
Well, they're optimistic, especially with, the government pushing for more domestic manufacturing.
Right.
They think their share, India's smart meter shunt resistor market, that's going to go up,
Makes sense.
especially as more relays are made locally.
Yeah, because if those relays are made in India, they need Shivalik's components.
Exactly, exactly. They're aligning with those government initiatives.
Smart.
Now, one thing that analysts were buzzing about,
Yeah.
a potential slowdown in the EV market.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a big bet for Shivalik, right?
Yeah, but they actually pushed back a little on that.
Oh, really?
They said a big chunk of their shunt resistor business, it's not even EV related.
Okay.
They're diversified. Plus, they're looking at opportunities in like the electric two-wheeler market,
Oh, yeah.
which is like exploding in India.
So not putting all their eggs in one basket.
No.
Okay. It sounds like they're thinking ahead, but big picture.
Yeah.
What's their outlook?
They're projecting a strong growth trajectory,
Okay.
potentially over 20–25% in the next couple of years.
Wow, that's ambitious. What's driving that confidence?
Well, those forward and backward integration initiatives,
Yeah.
those are supposed to pay off big time.
Okay.
More value-added products, a more streamlined supply chain.
Right.
That's a recipe for growth.
Yeah, makes sense. Anything else?
Remember those new product verticals?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were being kind of mysterious about those.
Still keeping it under wraps, but something's cooking.
Okay. Intriguing. What else?
They're also open to acquisitions.
Oh, so they might be going shopping.
Maybe, maybe.
Always exciting.
It is. Plus, they're seeing positive signs of recovery in key markets.
Okay, so stronger demand coming.
Yeah.
So they've got multiple levers to pull for growth. But let's be real for a sec. Every company has risks. What are Shivalik's?
Well, commodity prices.
Oh, yeah.
Always a challenge in their business. Those raw materials, prices can swing like crazy,
Right.
directly impacting their profits.
It's tough.
But they're managing it. They're using financial instruments to hedge against those price swings.
Okay.
And diversifying their suppliers.
So it's spreading the risk.
Exactly. Not being too reliant on one source.
Makes sense. Anything else they're watching out for?
Currency risk.
Ah, yeah.
Big deal for a global business like theirs. But again, they're hedging to minimize the impact.
Okay, so they're covering the financial risks. What about competition? They've got this tech advantage, right?
Yeah.
But other companies, they got to be trying to catch up.
Oh, for sure. Competition is always there. But Shivalik, they're not sitting still. They're all about continuous innovation,
Okay.
pouring resources into research and development.
So they're staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, always pushing.
Okay, let's go back to those new product verticals for a second. What do you think they could be?
Well, with their expertise in electrical components, this push toward forward integration, I'd say they're probably looking at things like advanced sensors for EVs, maybe even energy storage systems.
Or that's a good one. So like the brains behind the next generation of EVs, or what about like components for the Internet of Things, all those connected devices?
Exactly, exactly.
Shivalik's precision engineering would be perfect for that.
You got it.
What about like entirely new industries?
Yeah.
Aerospace, medical devices.
Could be. The possibilities are huge.
This is getting me pumped about Shivalik.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to our listener for a second.
Okay.
They're going into this meeting.
Yeah.
What should they be thinking about? What are the key takeaways here?
First off, Shivalik, they're at the forefront of some of the most exciting industries out there.
Yeah.
They're not just along for the ride, they're shaping things.
And doing it with a solid financial foundation,
right.
a commitment to sustainability, a vision for the future.
It's a good story. And our listener, they should use this deep dive to really ask the right questions.
Yeah, they should dig deeper into those new product verticals.
For sure.
Explore potential partnerships, maybe even challenge Shivalik a little on their long-term strategy.
Exactly. Do your homework. Knowledge is power.
Okay, but there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't really talked about yet.
What's that?
Shivalik mentioned a relationship capital.
Oh, right.
What's that all about?
So they're all about building these strong long-term relationships,
Okay.
Customers, suppliers, even their employees.
Interesting.
They get it. Trust, collaboration.
Yeah.
That's essential for success.
So it's not just about closing the deal.
No.
It's about building these real partnerships.
Exactly. They work closely with their customers, develop those customized solutions we were talking about.
Yeah.
Communication is key, and they really value their employees.
Okay, so this is sounding really positive, but there's got to be a downside.
Well, every company has challenges.
Yeah.
But honestly, from what I've seen, their financials, the presentations, this earnings call, Shivalik's doing pretty darn well.
Okay, that's good to hear. So as our listeners heading into this meeting, what's the best piece of advice we can give them?
Go in with confidence. Be curious. You've got the info from this deep dive.
Yeah.
Use it. Ask the right questions. See if there's a real partnership there.
Do your homework.
Exactly.
All right, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
Financials, growth strategy, sustainability, these strong relationships they're building.
And don't forget that management team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the people running the show.
Big changes happening there.
Fill me in.
So they're going through this generational shift.
Okay.
Second generation stepping up into leadership roles. Kabir Gumman, he's the new managing director. Seems like he's the guy pushing the tech side, developing those new product verticals.
So he's like the visionary.
Yeah, and he's focused on relationships, keeping those existing customers happy, but also bringing in new ones globally.
Smart.
Then there's Summer Gumman, joined the board back in January. He's all about expansion, scaling things up, increasing their share of customer business.
So he's the strategist.
Exactly. Sustainable value for stakeholders, global growth, expanding the product offering. That's his thing.
Wow. So they got a good team. That's got to be reassuring for investors.
Definitely. Strong leadership's essential these days.
Okay, I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Now let's talk about something I'm really excited about. Shivalik's commitment to sustainability.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a buzzword for them. It's part of who they are. I mean, they're getting 100% of their power from renewable hydroelectric sources.
Yeah, they're powering their factories with clean energy.
It's pretty impressive.
Huge step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And they're not stopping there. Minimizing their environmental impact, zero liquid discharge, responsible waste management. They've even got that ISO 14001 certification for environmental management.
Wow, so they're serious about this.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just like a marketing thing.
Nope.
It's built into how they operate.
It's a core value.
I like that.
And you know what? This commitment, it's not just good for the planet, it's good for business too.
Really? How so?
Well, think about it. It boosts their brand image.
Yeah.
Attracts customers who care about the environment.
Right.
Investors too. Even helps them, recruit and keep great employees.
So it's a win-win.
Exactly.
Sustainability, smart business, it all ties together. Now, before we wrap up this whole deep dive,
Yeah.
one last thing that really jumped out at me.
Okay.
Shivalik kept talking about this relationship capital. What is that? And why should our listener, why should they care?
It's all about relationships, strong ones, long-term ones.
Okay.
With their customers, suppliers, even their employees. They understand that trust, real collaboration, that's what makes a business successful.
So it's not just about getting the sale.
No.
It's about building those lasting connections.
Exactly. It's about partnerships, working together, coming up with those tailored solutions we were talking about, open communication, valuing their employees.
I mean, this all sounds amazing.
Right.
But is there a downside? What are we missing here?
Well, every company has its challenges,
Yeah.
but from what I've seen, their numbers, their presentations, this earnings call, Shivalik, they seem to be doing really well.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So for our listener heading into that meeting,
Right.
what's the one piece of advice we can give them?
Go in confident, be curious. You've got all this knowledge now from this deep dive. Ask those good questions.
Yeah.
See if there's a real partnership there.
Don't be afraid to dig a little deeper. Challenge those assumptions.
Exactly.
All right, so we've covered a ton today.
We have.
Financials, growth strategy, this commitment to sustainability, those strong relationships they're focused on.
It's been fascinating.
Yeah, definitely a company to keep an eye on. And for our listener, going into that meeting, hopefully this deep dive has given them all the info they need to make the right decisions.
I hope so.
So to wrap it all up, what's your final take on Shivalik?
They're a company to watch, that's for sure. Innovative, solid financials, committed to doing things the right way.
Yeah,
And those relationships, they really seem to get that. They're a hidden gem, I think,
absolutely.
in the Indian manufacturing world.
Well, it sounds like they're ticking all the right boxes. Really excited to see what they do next.
Me too. I think it's a good reminder that, the business world, it's always changing. And companies like Shivalik, the ones that adapt, that innovate, that build those strong connections, they're the ones that are going to come out on top.
Well said. All right, that's a wrap for this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of knowledge.